Just after Hurricane Irma finished its devastating run through the southeastern United States, FEMA Administrator Brock Long and a FEMA impact team started their initial on-the-ground assessment in the Virgin Islands, even as urban search and rescue, disaster medical assistance, and emergency operation teams were already in place and working within hours after Irma made landfall.
The U.S. Virgin Islands has not been forgotten. You are an equal partner with any state that we have in the United States, and I'm here to send that message.
Governor Kenneth Mapp of the U.S. Virgin Islands outlined specific recovery needs from the storm.
Let me say on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands that we thank you and we thank the President and our national government for its response.
Urban search and rescue teams are staged in St. Thomas and are conducting multiple missions out to all of the islands. Virginia Task Force 1 took the lead and continues coordination with all other federal, territorial, and local efforts.
So currently we have 3 working groups right now. We're working the west side of the island.
FEMA representatives were on the ground before the storm hit.
We deployed down on the 5th of September, and we were here for a couple days before the storm hit.
Members of Health and Human Services Disaster Medical Assistance Team California 6 established an operational area to support damaged medical facilities on St. Thomas. Administrator Long was briefed on Irma's impact on Puerto Rico by Governor Ricardo Rocio and his cabinet members.
Thank you. And thank you for the commitment your leadership has shown. Thank you for the team. The FEMA team has been outstanding here in Puerto Rico.
One of FEMA's key distribution centers for the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico is located in San Juan. Pre-staging the center with food, water tarps, and other commodities allowed FEMA to extend the logistical arm to all of the islands. Supplies are boxed, palletized, wrapped, and shipped to Irma-impacted islands via barge, air bridges, and trucks around the clock.
And we are also using it as the initial operation facility. So we're having all federal agencies and all FEMA staff working together in collaboration, in coordination, responding to the disaster in Puerto Rico as a result of Hurricane Irma.
The Emergency Operations Center in Lee County, Florida is coordinating all of the emergency support functions for Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Sanibel, and especially hard-hit Bonita Springs.
It's very important for me to get out and ground truth the services that we're providing through Governor Scott down to the local level, just to make sure that we're trying to hit the mark.
The Emergency Operations Center in Collier County, Florida, continues to work with interagency support functions and nonprofits from the federal, state, and local levels where hurricane force winds devastated parts of the Naples area and surrounding communities.
Once again, we know what a tough time this has been for our community. We're tired, we're frustrated, we're hot, we're waiting on power, and we've been in gasoline lines way too long.
Hurricane Irma reached the continental United States through the Florida Keys, where Marathon Island in Monroe County was one of the hardest hit.
It's devastating what we saw. We've lost a lot of homes. We've lost roofs to make homes inhabitable.
President Trump, the First Lady, Vice President Pence, Secretary Perry, Acting Secretary Duke, and Florida Governor Scott joined FEMA Administrator Brock Long on a visit to some of the most heavily damaged areas in both Lee and Collier counties in southwest Florida.
Yeah, so today we're right here in a community here in Naples, been impacted by Hurricane Irma. So have our disaster survivor assistance teams. They're using mobile technology, cell technology to be able to register people for assistance. We have folks that are, going to their smartphone, hitting the FEMA app, going to disaster resources, and then literally apply online. They're able to apply, it walks them through. They can come back later and check their status. This is the front end, but behind this is about 4,500 call center agents that are also taking calls.
Pretty bad. Wet, stinky, nasty, can't pull in the driveway. Hurricane. Actually, this guy was great. I took his picture and hugged him. Very calm, very easy. He asked me the information. I have no insurance. I have no savings. I have anybody that says FEMA has been wonderful. We're here for you.
FEMA! 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 Thank you, darling. Great job you do, by the way.
FEMA, along with federal, state, local, tribal, territorial, and Commonwealth partners, are in for the long haul and will be working shoulder to shoulder with disaster recovery survivors and stakeholders for years to come and as long as it takes.